Hi everyone, today I come with a new guide, how to add internationalization to your app. I know many of you have been asking for it, if you want to have your Rails apps in English, but also other languages like Spanish, French, German, whatever you want. It took me some time to build this because I didn't want to just add the default I18n on the app whenever anyone would integrate it, because it would make it a bit heavy in terms of config, especially with the routes and stuff like that. So I've managed to find a way to make it more scalable, let's say. I created a generator. So if you go into documentation, internationalization, in here you can see that you have internationalization. You go here and you'll see that you have a generator command. This is the same as other generator commands that we have in the app. It creates a few files, integrates some lines in the code. So you go to your terminal, and the first thing I'm going to do is create a branch, just in case whenever you're running these generators, try to protect your code and make it in branches. We never know. Add Spanish, for example. I'll write as a branch, and then copy paste this. Boom. Okay, so you see it created a few files and some config for already 4 languages. Of course, you're free to remove or add or change the name of the files to the languages that you want. And on top of it, it created also the UI for the multi-language switcher, let's say. This is adapted to your theme, so if you change the theme, the design will also change accordingly. Let's have a look at how it looks actually. If I go to my terminal and I open my server, go back here, localhost, we can see that in here on the bottom right, so this is a fixed position. Now the landing page has the languages, right? So we can switch to Spanish, and if you look at the top, now the URL has changed. So now all our routes are going to be scoped to the language that the user uses, and if the user changes page, it's not going to switch back to English, because this is basically being saved in the background based on the user choice. So this works really good. You might notice that there is no change when I change language. This is normal. It's because I haven't added any translations there yet, and this is actually your role. I can't do that for you, and Lightning Rails can't do that for you. So let's do a quick demo on how it will work. If we're in English, I mean, English is so good, we know how it works. Let's try it with Spanish. So the first thing I would do is I would go to the ES YAML in the config files, and here you can see you already have some default translations that I added for you, but feel free to go here and say, for example, home, and then I'll write header 1, for example, and say that the header 1 is, so what do we have? Capture attention with a compelling headline. So I will just cheat a little bit here and switch this to Spanish. So if you're using cursor, maybe this can help you, especially for these kind of features. And we're going to leave it here for the moment, just one header. How do we apply it to the front end now? I go to my home. In the home, we see that we have all the components here, so it's the hero I want to go to, so I'll go to hero. And in here, instead of having then the normal text, we're going to make it a little bit more dynamic and say T. And inside, we're going to have home, which is kind of the parent of the section, and then header 1. Yeah, this is not the best title. You can also call it banner title, something a bit more specific. And then you would have to do this process for basically all the text in your application so that it's dynamic. So let's have a look. Now, if I reload, I can see that my title is in Spanish, and I can go back to English. Yep. English, there you go. Of course, now I have to go back to English and change this. So I'll go to my code, go to EN, and I will have to have the exact same as I created. So I'll do home, and then I will do header 1. Welcome to our app in English. Okay, now if I go back to my page, now the English actually the real text, right? Spanish, English. And the good part, as I said, is that when I go to login, if you see like now, if I go to Spanish, for example, and I go to login, it stays in Spanish, so it's going to be consistent over the app. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this new feature. If you ever want to change these languages, in the documentation there is a guide. It's quite specific. All this in the documentation is created for you. It's just for you to understand what's in the code in the background. But if you want to change, you would just need to go to customization, adding new languages here. So you would go to the locals, create a new one, for example for Italian. Then you would have to do the same for Devise. So you just need to go to the application.rb and add the new languages that you want, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial and that you can use this feature to improve your apps. Thank you.